Hi, I'm Callista.
And I'm Allison, and welcome back to I Don't Want to Talk About Politics, a podcast where we discuss the issues we don't want to talk about around the Thanksgiving dinner table. Happy Earth Day, everybody, or should I say early Earth Day, because this episode comes out on Friday and Earth Day is Saturday. It is my second favorite holiday tomorrow, and I'm so excited that we get to do an entire episode surrounding it. Everything about like April and Earth Day and like spring just makes me want to like go out and like plant an entire garden. What about you, Callista?
I think Earth Day is pretty great. I mean, I love being outdoors, so I love the earth.
That's true. You are very outdoors, even though you are allergic to about half the plants on this campus.
Only on this campus. If I'm back home, I'm fine.
Really? It's those yellow flowers, right?
Mm-hmm.
My allergies have been like fine here, but back home my allergies would get so bad that I would get nosebleeds while I was working.
That's so fun.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of working, I'm doing my least favorite thing on the planet right now, which is job hunting. And let me go, I have like a little rant about this. Okay, so I was on school leave with my job as a delivery driver. However, they like desperately needed to fill my spot. And so they hired someone and they're like, hey, we can move you to a different location. And I'm like, I kind of just wanted to stay there to keep working with my manager. But instead, I was like, okay, since you don't have my spot, I guess I'll look for a new job. And oh my gosh, do I hate job hunting so much. For one, I'm like looking for jobs. I put in the filter part-time and everything coming up is full-time. And I guess I could work full-time, but I don't want to. And two, why is it every application has you put in your resume, but then also has you fill out all of your work experience? I've worked like 6 jobs. You know how long it takes me to fill out all of my work experience? It takes a really long time. And then they're like, what exact day did you quit? And what exact day did you start? I'm like, I don't know. It was June. Okay, like I don't mind the ones where it's like, what month? But why do you have to know the exact day? Isn't that weird?
That is very odd.
Like, why can't I be like, I worked there for a year, or I worked there for 6 months? Instead, they're like, what day? What time? How did you quit? Why did you quit? What, like, who was your manager? Can we contact your manager?
I understand why they're like, why did you quit? Because they need to make sure you weren't like fired and that you're reliable. But like, yeah, the month and the day thing. I don't mind month, but the day, it's like, why do you need to know that?
It's so embarrassing because, like, honestly, half the reasons I quit most of my jobs was I got bored. I cannot make it a month. I can't make it a year through a job. I know for, like, a real job, it's different, but when it's, like, fast food, because I've only worked in the food industry, like, when it's, like, fast food, you get bored after a year of doing the same thing every single day.
I couldn't tell you. I've never worked in the fast food industry.
Callista, let me tell you.
I avoided it.
You have not been screamed at the way that okay, so I worked at Subway as my first job. And no. I know what you're trying to say. And everyone's like, retail customers are worse. Retail customers are not worse. I worked at Subway as my first job. It was fine. I actually really enjoyed that job. Second job, I worked at a steakhouse. Oh my gosh, the people who would like curse me out because they couldn't get us because we didn't take reservations. And it'd be like 7 p.m. on a Friday. And they'd be like, why do you have an hour and a half wait? I'm like, because it's a holiday weekend. And you came in with a party of like 15 at 7 p.m. on a Friday. Oh, I just, Anyways, I'm job hunting right now, and it's really annoying because, like, how do you tell, like, I don't want to go in and be like, hey, I'm only going to be here for 5 months, so I really need you. I'm going to be here for like a couple months, so I'm trying to find jobs that they don't have to train me for because I hate being trained. Okay, my rant is over. Callista, what were you going to say about retail?
I was going to say, I have to deal with old ladies who want a very specific, most likely ugly fabric that we don't have, and they come in with their little chihuahuas in their purse, and they're like, give me this fabric.
How did you say that?
Chihuahuas. I don't know why I said it that way. Anyways, they come in with their little yappy dogs in their purse, and they're like, I need this piece of fabric, and I'm like, my face says everything.
But have you ever explained to someone how to book a movie on an app? Like an old person?
No, but I've had to explain how to use a sewing machine to an old person.
It is so frustrating.
You want to know what I've also had to explain? To a parent, why their child couldn't dive in the 3-foot.
Have you ever had to explain to a parent why they can't take their 2-year-old into an R-rated movie? I'm like, I'm sorry you can't take your 2-year-old to see Scream 6.
Yeah, I have not had to explain that, but still, I've been yelled at for saving a child's life.
Well, my boyfriend always says this because he always says that old people should not be allowed to have technology until they know how to properly use it, because then they burden us with it.
That's a fair statement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So do you have any good, like, job antidotes? Antidotes is the healing one. Stories, there you go.
I mean, my first job, I was called back for a second interview, and then they just ghosted me.
That's embarrassing.
I know. I was 15.
Oh, did you cry?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
That's funny.
And then I go in for an interview. So that was for the outdoor pools. And then I went in to work indoor at the YMCA. And one of the people who had interviewed me was in that interview also. I got so nervous. And then she was like super sweet about it. And she's like, no, I really liked you. It was the other girl. And I was like, okay, now I'm a little less nervous about this. And I got hired that time. It was just the one girl really hated me and glared at me all the next summer because I worked outdoor the next summer. And for whatever reason, she hated me, and I don't know why.
Sometimes you have those coworkers that you hate, and sometimes you have those ones that you love. Mm-hmm. I had a coworker, Maddie, when I worked at the movie theater, and she and I got hired, trained, and worked pretty much always together. And, like, the two of us were such besties. Like, I haven't seen her since I worked there, but we, like, text each other all the time.
Yeah.
I could spend all day complaining about jobs and telling job stories because I have so many, but we'll save those from another episode. Maybe we'll do, like, an entire episode where we just complain about jobs. But for now, let's get into the top news stories of this week.
Okay.
Captain.
So last week we discussed Washington State's stockpile.
You wrote Stoke.
I realized that. Okay. Last week we discussed Washington State's stockpile of abortion pills and the new Texas abortion ruling. There's been a few updates from Texas. So, the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, which I had to have Allison explain to me how that worked, because I don't know how.
If anyone wants to know, the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals is a part of the judicial branch of government. So it's part of the federal government. And the 5th Circuit Court of Appeals is not, in fact, one judge. It is 15, I believe. You're welcome. That's the only thing my major is good for, explaining the branches of government.
Well,
I'm kidding. Mom and Dad.
Well, I didn't know that, so thank you for that. So the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals voted to allow restrictions on the abortion pill. So they agreed with the Texas judge. They also, though they declined the actual suspension of the FDA's approval on the abortion pill because the Texas judge was trying to get it reversed. And they did decline to pass that.
I'm still confused on this. So what did the Texas judge say originally?
The Texas judge sided with a Christian group who wanted to reverse the FDA's approval of the abortion pill so that it couldn't be sold because they didn't think there was enough testing done.
Okay. And
there was also a few other things linked in with that.
So the Texas judge sided with them, and it was banned just in Texas.
I think so.
And so then it went up to the courts on became a federal issue. And so that's why so if this goes all the way to the Supreme Court, there is a chance that the FDA, the abortion bill, could be banned nationwide.
No, because they did not side with that, but there's a few other things that they did.
Okay.
So the Fifth Circuit Court decided the pill is not allowed to be mailed, so distributed through the mail. And the court also changed the time frame of when the abortion pill can be given. Originally, it was 70 days, and now it is moved down to 49 days. I still think that's just in Texas, maybe? I'm unclear on that.
Okay.
And then it's expected to go to the Supreme Court on Wednesday, which will be 2 days ago.
I like the issue and a complaint with all of the media sites right now, and specifically the Fifth Circuit Court of the U.S. Stop bringing up issues and updating them the day after we record an episode. We recorded this episode, last week's episode, like Tuesday. Wednesday this came out, as well as the Ukraine update.
Which, speaking of Ukraine, on to you.
I just want to say that, like, Ukraine stuff, I just find it really grating, and I feel like a lot of people don't want to hear about it anymore, but, you know, it updated this week. So if you don't remember, about 2 weeks ago, there was these classified documents that were leaked from the Pentagon, and it, like, had details with, like, the U.S.'s presence in Ukraine and a bunch of different things that I can't remember all the details of. And we kind of talked about how it had pretty much some similarities to the Pentagon Papers in, like, the historical context of it. But in this past week, we've learned more not only about the leakers, but where it was leaked to, which is just kind of funny. So, 21-year-old National Guard Airman Jax Tiraxira?
A T-Rex?
It looks like T-Rex. So he, like, joined a call with these members of a small online gamer community, which I think is just Minecraft, right?
I think so.
And he says, guys, it's been good. I love you all. I never wanted to get like this. I prayed to God that this would never happen. And I prayed and prayed and prayed. He really prayed. Only God can decide what happens from now on. So on Thursday of last week, he was arrested about an hour and a half after the New York Times identified him as the administrator of the online group Thug Shaker Central, where he leaked intelligence documents that riveted the world for a week. I don't know, where he leaked intelligence documents. Either way, this is from the New York Times, who originally had the story on how the documents were leaked, and then they have, like, an entire, like, section on all of this. And then there's also an article on NPR that will be leaked in the description that has some more details as well. So Jack was a member of the Massachusetts National Guard, and he obtained classified documents and then posted them to his, like, group. It was said he began sharing descriptions as of, like, last October. He began sharing descriptions of classified information, group members and law enforcement officials said, eventually uploading hundreds of pages of documents, including detailed battlefield plans from Ukraine and confidential assessments from Russia's war machine.
He looks like he was in a frat.
He does, but he looks
college.
He looks very young too.
Don't they have to do, like, background checks and take an oath not to release secret documents?
I don't think they're even allowed to, like, hint at it. Like, I think they get in a lot of trouble. So I think that's what he's saying. It's like, that's why he was arrested, and that's why he was, like, closing down all of his accounts. And so I wonder if I'm not sure what's going to happen. We're going to have to update on this again.
Which means it will probably come out tomorrow.
Oh yeah, we're gonna hit end recording, and there's gonna be like
10 updates.
10 updates on every single story that we cover.
I mean, there will for sure be an update on the abortion one, considering it's going to the Supreme Court Wednesday.
That is true. That is true. So I'm gonna just record like Thursday. Dang it.
I think it's going this Wednesday, as in today.
Oh, so they started like an hour ago then.
Yeah.
Do they mean Wednesday at midnight as in Wednesday at midnight today, or Wednesday at midnight as in Wednesday at midnight Thursday?
I don't know. Also, they might have been in session for a while now because it probably goes off of East Coast time.
Okay, so when they said Wednesday at midnight, do they mean midnight local time or midnight their time?
I think it's their time.
So they're midnight.
Yeah.
Why do they start at midnight?
Because apparently they think they can make better decisions at midnight.
Okay, that's probably why like Ruth Gator Ginsburg died, because she was like exhausted.
Yeah. Or one side's like, ooh, we can make them slip up on a decision if we start.
But that makes no sense, because Ruth Gator Ginsburg was like 130 when she died.
Yeah.
That's why they all look so tired. Yeah. I don't know. Ukraine. I don't have any other thoughts on it. Like, it really, I can't. I just can't.
I'm just so over it.
I'm like over it. I don't know. And it sounds mean to be like over it, but I am. There's some world issues that I just can't care anymore. Okay, moving on.
Moving on to a new bill in Washington.
You guys are you're going like 2 for 2 on the worst bills known to man.
Yeah, Washington State is not doing very good. Not that they're great in politics anyways, but these last couple weeks, it's been worse.
Oregon's looking pretty good, huh? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, for right now, Oregon's looking good. The fact that Washington stockpiled abortion pills before California did.
Now that California is doing it, it means that Oregon's definitely going to start doing it, because we always follow them. At least Kate Brown would. I don't know about this new governor.
Yeah, so Washington, yet again, is making terrible decisions. Senate Bill 5599. I don't know why it just said it like that.
I stand by it. I think it should have been called 666.
Yeah. Allows the state to legally, yes, I said legally, hide runaway children from their parents when the parents don't consent to their child being put on puberty blockers, getting, body parts cut off, just transitioning. That was really hard for me to say.
Who is this legally? Like, who? They said legally, like state. So it is homeless shelters, youth shelters, and so anything that's under the Office of Homeless Youth Prevention and Protection. So like a YMCA could?
No, because I believe it's overnight shelters.
Okay, so like a Salvation Army could?
Yeah.
Or like a Union Gospel Mission?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I hope Union Gospel Mission's not...
I mean, Union Gospel Mission's like homeless shelter.
I know, yeah.
Yeah. That was a bad example.
Yeah. This also applies to minors seeking abortions. So not only is it gender-affirming care, it is abortions. So your 16-year-old can now go get an abortion without your consent.
Okay, but isn't it, that doesn't make any sense, because what's the age limit in Washington?
4.
Wait, really? You're not joking?
I'm not joking.
It's 4?
No. Okay, no. I said for as in a question for what?
Oh.
I didn't finish my sentence. And I was like,
The age limit on when someone can get an abortion.
right out of the womb.
You're like 4.
I honestly don't know. But it's probably very young.
I'm looking it up.
Okay. While she looks that up, if all of this wasn't enough, the bill will be allocating up to $7.5 million of Washington's taxpayers' money to the Office of Homeless Youth Prevention and Protection to provide grants to organizations to pay for gender transition and abortion procedures.
I mean, you are right. People of any age that have the right to independently consent for their own abortion care. Parental involvement is not required. And this is from the Washington State Department of Health.
Gotta love our Department of Health. It's great.
You also do not have to be a state resident nor a citizen of the United States to get abortion services.
This bill also applies for minors in other states also. So if you're in Idaho, you can just come hide in Washington and have your gender changed. When it came to voting for this bill, all the Democrats voted yes and all the Republicans voted no, which in Washington, Democrats have the majority by like a lot. And that is everything on that, because I don't have the heart to talk about it anymore because it is absolutely terrible. I really had to build up for a bigger word and then I couldn't think of something.
Well, that's pretty much all we have for this. That's the end of the episode. We're actually done. No, that's pretty much all we have for news this week. It was kind of a slow news. Like, it wasn't, but there wasn't like a good variety of news this week.
More, we were doing a lot of updates to our big stories from last week. Mm-hmm. And then Washington's wonderful law. So we'll see what Washington comes out with. I think they're done being in session.
Are you That's true. Washington in session is just like a crime against humanity, apparently.
I mean, yeah, they're stockpiling abortion pills and allowing minors to transition without their parents. Parents have rights for a reason. And Washington said, no. Okay.
All right. On to our main topic of this week. I thought about starting this off with, like, in the beginning, God made the heavens and the earth, but honestly, it kind of sounded funnier in my head than it did out loud. But then I was thinking more about it. When God made man, he intended for us to preside over everything that created. And even though we're only here temporarily, this is our home, and it's our job to take care of our home. So in honor of Earth Day, we're asking the question, is there a right way to save our planet? Now, I guess I would love to start this off with Callista texted me this morning and was like, do I get to rant about paper straws? And I was like, well, of course. And like that came up with like the outline for this episode because I really struggled to feel like what we're talking about. So we're just going to start by talking about this, about kind of roasting the left on like things and like that they've passed that they think work. So for me, I'll start off with the freaking plastic bag bans. We both come from states that have plastic bag bans. And I don't even care if it actually saves the environment, but why does it cost me $5 extra for like 3 bags? It's ridiculous.
It was like in Washington, they have the bag tax, but they tax the bag tax.
I don't know what that means because we don't have sales tax.
Yeah, but in Washington, we do have sales tax, and they literally, you have to pay, I think it's at 8 cents. 8 cents for the bag. And then you have to pay an additional 2 cents technically, or like a cent, something like that, because the bag tax is taxed.
That made my brain hurt.
Yeah, because they said, how can we collect more taxes so we can pay for gender affirming care for runaway children?
I came to Arizona and my roommate and I were shopping. We were grocery shopping. And then she like started like loading up bags. Like literally it was like 3 things in a bag, 3 things in a bag. And I was sitting there like, that's like $15 worth of bags, queen. And she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, the bags. She's like, I'm like, they're like, bags don't cost money. I was like, bags don't cost money?
My grandma came down here to visit me, and she's like, do they charge for bags? I was like, no. She's like, are you sure? I was like, no, they don't charge for bags here. It's quite nice, actually.
Here's the thing, though. They're like the thinnest bags on the planet. At least when I'm paying for a bag, it's like thicker. They are so thin.
Yeah.
I like look at it for too long and it rips and all my avocados come spilling out.
Yeah. And then also, the only thing, the left thought that, you know, if we charge for bags, we can save the planet.
No, because every time I buy a reusable bag, I forget my reusable bag.
Yeah, so I have a very great talent now of being able to stack things in ways that I shouldn't be able to stack them because I just am like, I don't need a bag.
I go to Ulta, I have like 80 things in my hand, I have like $200 worth of products in one hand.
There was one day I stacked a box of cereal, and then I had like some frozen thing, because I went to grab like 2 things at Walmart. I left with like 10 things instead, and I stacked it all on the box of cereal and carried it up to the counter because I didn't have a bag or a cart.
You know what I do? Anytime I go to Hobby Lobby, and I need to get canvases, I will go and I will get a canvas first so that I can hold it, and then I stack everything on the I don't know why we're acting like carts cost money, but I stack, but like when I'm leaving, they're like, do you want to pay for a bag? No, because Hobby Lobby doesn't even, I don't know about you, but ours don't even have bags. You have to pay for a reusable bag.
I don't know.
Which is like $15. And I'm like, no, thank you. It's like, I'm like, I give them the canvas, and then they stack everything on the canvas, and you kind of have to like shimmy your way out to the car, and then you have to like, okay, you press the canvas up against the car, and then your body up against the canvas, so everything's hold there, and then you're fishing through your bag for your keys, unlock it, put the keys on top of it, grab it back, and we'll like kind of shimmy your way around, open the car door, and kind of slide everything in and hope it doesn't come all tumbling off the moment you make a right turn.
You know the reason that I think Hobby Lobby should have bags that I shouldn't have to pay for? Because what if I was buying something with glitter?
Oh,
I'm not gonna just throw that in the back of my car.
Gosh.
I don't have any plans of buying anything glittery, but
I just think you'd be happier if you bought glittery things.
No, glitter stresses me out.
Excuse me? As someone who's a lover of glitter, I'm like offended.
But it just gets everywhere, and then it's just annoying.
I'm not, okay. ColourPop has like this really nice glitter, and it's like gel, and it goes on like gel, and it dries, but it's glittery.
Okay, that's different.
Okay.
It's not like crafting glitter and like decoration glitter where it gets everywhere.
I'm gonna find you some like nice glitter.
I come from a family of 5 girls. Do you think I've never had glitter in my life?
Well, apparently not. But you have this like vendetta against glitter. I don't know.
Probably because we had a thing of glitter spill in our office once, and I was the one who had to clean it up.
It's because you come from a family of 5 girls. Of course, you had a glitter spill. I don't know how we got on glitter.
That's the next thing the left's gonna ban is glitter.
Glitter. Well, there's like biodegradable glitter at this point.
True. But they're gonna be like, nope, glitter's bad for.
No,
it's gonna kill the turtles.
Because Pride Month, they gotta cover themselves from like head to toe in it.
Yeah.
We're taking glitter too. They took rainbows, now they're taking glitter. All right, Calista. Do I need like turn the volume mic down for this?
I think I can maybe do it quietly.
Okay.
You might want to have your hands closed.
Okay.
Paper straws
Paper straws.
are the worst thing ever invented. Okay, maybe not, but close second.
For someone who just got done explaining to us abortion pills, and I would really like to say that probably not.
Probably not.
But
no.
they're up there.
They're up there.
They're up there. They're about 2.
Yeah. Abortion pills, paper straws. But you go to drink your drink. Mm-hmm. You take 1.5 sips, and your water tastes like you just poured it on a piece of paper, wring the piece of paper out, and then drink the water from that.
But you'll be drinking, and then all of a sudden you'll be like, I wasn't aware I ordered my Diet Coke with pulp.
Yeah. We had like paper straws. We did it. My little sister's first birthday party. We did like milk and cookie themed, and we had the cute little party like paper straws, and it was fine because they were
Milk and cookie themed. That's so cute.
Yeah. So we had like chocolate milk, strawberry milk, and regular milk, and then different cookies. But we had like the party paper straws, and those are fine. But the ones they give you at the restaurants, like paper straws, still suck. But
I'm pretty sure the devil himself made those.
they're like, let me get the cheapest paper. Let me take a piece of copy paper and give this to the person to drink.
How can I mess up Allison's day the best way that I can? One refreshing Diet Coke? Nope.
How about your drink with a side of paper?
I don't even think they do anything.
I would rather drink out of a piece of cardboard than a paper straw.
You know who has a really funny bit on this?
Who?
Steven Crowder. He does like a whole. Have you seen that? Yes, he does. He has like a segment on his. I'm sure it's on YouTube, and he has a segment on one of his shows where he talked about paper straws, and he has like a whole mental breakdown over it, and it's very funny. And I probably will link it in the description because it's so good.
I don't think paper straws are the solution.
But how are metal straws any better? Like now,
metal straws, yeah, they're not.
I'm worried. My mom one time, I don't know if this is true, but my mom one time told me that someone fell on a metal straw and killed themselves. And now I
could see somebody poking their eye out, but I'm not sure how somebody killed
that is
themselves.
now my biggest fear on the planet. Because my mom tells me messed up stuff like that. And then it becomes my biggest fear on the planet.
Yeah, no, we have metal straws. Like, we got a pack of, like, reusable ones. Mm-hmm. And we're just like, when you're drinking iced coffee out of a metal straw, it's not the same as drinking it out of a plastic straw. Like, here's what,
you know what? I will take the middle ground on this.
Okay.
I will take paper straws if they're the size of the boba straws. If they're that big, I can at least get 3 sips out of them before they close up.
Okay. But they have to be thicker paper because otherwise...
They have to be essentially cardboard.
Yeah. Like, make a paper straw out of cardboard. Actually, don't...
That doesn't make any sense. Don't listen to us.
Don't make paper straws at all. Unless it's Allison's thick boba straw that she apparently wants.
Or just no straws.
They tried that, and drinking iced coffee, as somebody who drinks iced coffee, Allison doesn't drink coffee.
I drink coffee.
Okay. You don't drink it as much as I
do. I'm just in my tea era. Also, the coffee here makes my stomach hurt. And it's bad coffee.
Yeah. But no, like, back home, like, all the coffee shops for a while, they stopped giving straws. They've since been like, here's your straw. We don't care.
I don't drink iced coffee with a straw, though, but... I usually, like, if I'm somewhere, if it's like Starbucks, I'll do it.
Yeah, I don't like the lids that they made for the no straws because I managed to spill it all over myself every time. Like the sippy cup lids.
I love the sippy cup lids. I remember when they first did that because when Starbucks first did it, because they would do it with when they first had their caramel cloud macchiatos, which was so good. They need to bring back like the cloud cream. It was really good. And I was like, oh, I don't want a straw. I just want the regular lid. And my dad goes in. I was so embarrassed. I'm sitting in the passenger seat, and he goes, can I get a medium? Medium, because it's. He goes, can I get a medium macchiato cloud thingamajig? With the sippy cup lid. And that will be all. And I'm sitting in the passenger seat wanting to die.
Yeah, that would be a little embarrassing.
It was very embarrassing.
But see, if they just gave you a straw, he wouldn't have had to ask for the lid. Because now they just give them. But I guess when they first came out, they didn't. But yeah, paper straws, not the worst thing ever invented, but
Close second.
But up there.
Close second. Literally everything that California proposes.
I agree.
Okay, we were in California last weekend. And like everywhere you go, there's a sign that says there's something in the air that may cause cancer. It's just like a stupid sign that they put up. I can't remember what it's for. Do you remember why they put that up?
No, I don't. Because I'm from Washington, not California.
Well, I remember hearing about it.
But Washington's the new California.
You're saying that Ensley's worse than Newsom?
He's getting up there.
Okay. So, Proposition 65 requires businesses to provide warnings to Californians about significant exposures that cause cancer, birth defects, and other reproductive harm. And the thing is, isn't it that I believe that there's only like a slim chance that the people might get it. And it was very stupid. And the signs are everywhere. Like literally everywhere you walk into, the signs are out. Also, they like banned a certain kind of car there. Do you remember what kind of car it was?
No, but at this point, I think they're close to banning every single car.
And they shut down their Boeing factory, which is stupid.
Yeah.
Oregon tried to shut down our Boeing factory because there's like a small town in Oregon that's supported by the Boeing factory, and like a whole bunch of people showed up and were like, hey, these are our jobs. You know how you had your paper straw thing? I have beef with this one lady on TikTok. And let me find this. Okay. Environmental. Okay. She had the nerve to get on TikTok, and this was like 2 a.m. like 3 months ago. I'm scrolling.
As you do.
I'm scrolling as I do. Like K-pop dance video. 10 reasons your mom might be dead. Moving on. It's the types of things that you see on TikTok.
I'm a little concerned about your TikTok.
Don't worry, yours is full of Dylan Mulvaney, so I don't even
have TikTok.
But I'm sure it'd be full of Dylan Mulvaney.
Yeah, probably. Every other social media I have is.
Someone telling me why I'm transphobic. This. And this lady comes on, and she's sitting in like her like White House, and it's the thing about the White Houses that drive me insane, where everything is white and it's like pops of beige. Which, okay, Amanda, I know that's what you want for your house, but it just makes me sad. Just have some color, like green or yellow. Okay. Moving on. They're neutral colors.
Green or yellow?
Blue, maybe some orange, a little bit of red.
Okay.
We shouldn't be filming at 2:30 a.m.
No.
Okay. I'm scrolling. I come across this, and she's like, reasons why the tampons that you're using are harming the environment. And like went on this entire tangent about how women using tampons and pads are detrimental to the environment and how we're killing our planet. Like, it's not a necessity.
Can we talk about the masks? The disposable masks they made us wear for 2 years? How is that
That's like them coming up to a doctor mid-surgery and being like, hey, you know those gloves that you're using to make sure that you're not sticking your bare hands into a patient's, like, I don't know.
Stomach.
Harming the environment. Because you have to throw those out afterwards.
Exactly.
Made me so mad. And then she like tried to get, she was like, you have to go use my like biodegradable tampons or whatever. Let me tell you something. Every time I've heard people use environmental, I don't know if they were actually biodegradable.
I was like, I feel like that would like disintegrate in your body, causing issues. I have dark thoughts at 2:30 a.m.
You know, I caught myself. They weren't biodegradable. They might have. They weren't biodegradable, but they were environmentally friendly. And all I know is that every time there's like a very popular bio-friendly one, like eco-friendly one that they sell at Walmart, and what's it called? Trying to see if it's on here. Do you know what I'm talking about? They sell it at Walmart and Target.
Yeah, and I can picture the box.
Because they look eco-friendly. Oh, these ones. Okay, that's fine. They're called like capital L period, organic, full-size refill tampons. Do not use these. Do not use these. I have seen dozens of girls who have gotten yeast infections from these and have gotten like infections from using these. And I 100% guarantee you that there's like a good 90% chance of happening with these like eco-friendly ones she's peddling, given that she's some random person on the internet. Just use regular tampons.
I just want like, yes, like protecting the environment's important, but also your health is a little more important because it is you. And you can't, if you're not healthy, you can't enjoy the environment.
I feel very passionate about this. If your body needs it, then it doesn't matter if about the environment. Like if like this. No, it's stupid. It's a biological thing that happens, and the fact that they'd be like, you need to be worrying about your environmental impact. No, I do not.
Actually, you don't need anything. Just sit in your bed and just deal with the consequences later on.
It makes me so mad. Like, I was scrolling on my back, and I sat up at a 90-degree angle out of anger.
Oh, this was like 3 months ago, so your roommate probably was like, what is going on over there?
Body sprung forward in anger. Okay.
There's another tampon brand that says menstruating people on their box.
Do you remember when they were trying to push that they changed it's like women's health aisle or whatever they call it, feminine products to being like, I don't know, period products or whatever?
I'm like, no.
Because it's not just that.
Yeah. Like, also, it's embarrassing enough for no reason.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be embarrassing, but like...
They usually keep, like, razors and nail and, like, that type of stuff in that aisle.
But, like, going down that aisle for some reason is super embarrassing. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. The Honey Pot packaging literally says, made by humans with vaginas, for humans with vaginas. Which feels a little offensive. Why can't we just say women?
Well, we are birthing persons.
We are birthing persons. And we're chest feeders.
I hate that one. Birthing persons chest feeders is worse than birthing persons.
Yeah.
Tampax. It's easy. It's the most common. It's the cheapest.
Though... they did partner with Dylan Mulvaney.
I don't care if they partnered with Dylan Mulvaney.
Other than Dylan Mulvaney has no use for
I was going to be, it's like Dylan Mulvaney, it's not like Dylan Mulvaney is using them.
Especially because they did it before he did any surgeries of any sort.
Even then, I don't think you can't, no. They can't make a uterus.
No.
And they can't make it.
No.
Okay, just making sure.
But still, the fact that they did it before... anyways, like... literally no reason. And then they said there was a tampon shortage. Because you gave a whole bunch of trans people all these tampons for free.
Okay. I feel like we've spent probably about 20 minutes now, maybe 30. I have no idea how long this segment has been going. For just like, airing our grievances, specifically with tampons. We got real passionate.
Paper straws.
On paper straws. You know what? We need to like clean up our act. Like, I'm not saying that we're out here being like, you must use biodegradable tampons.
And paper straws.
But I am saying that I feel like the right is so far in the other direction of being like, I don't care about our planet, that it's become that like maybe we should care about our planet and we should be putting more effort into finding ways that we can like honestly reduce our carbon emissions and stuff, but not be insane and like take away a bunch of people's jobs.
I feel like on the left they're like, all these things we're doing is for global warming. We're saving the planet. Where's your scientific backing behind that? Like you say, trust the science, follow the science. Where's the science?
Mm-hmm. Like what river did they say was going to be dry in like 2 years? Do you know what I'm talking about? And then like the river had like record like flowing levels through it the next year.
So I think on the right, we need to be like, we're not doing this for global warming or these social issues that they make up so that they can get their money, meet their job requirements that don't exist, but but instead actually try to save the planet or actually try to, just respect our earth, like not necessarily cut all these things out without knowing whether it's actually having an effect.
I think like one of the things that is like, I don't know, like one of the things I think about the most that we should definitely be like for is like how we're impacting the animals that are going extinct. Like all these animals that are going extinct. Like I think about white rhinos, lions, tigers, like all these.
The American bald eagle.
Wait, really?
They're on the endangered species list.
I know about every animal's on the endangered species list.
But
I guess it's the attitude we're not going for.
But we also, the left is so passionate about saving the eagles. But not the babies. They will literally sign petitions to save eagle eggs.
Or like, what rainforest caught on fire last summer?
The Amazon?
Was it the Amazon that caught on fire last summer? I thought it was in Australia.
Oh, there was one in Australia, but I think the Amazon had an issue.
That was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
That was in 2021. There was also something in Australia.
Yeah, Australia caught on fire. I mean, so does Washington, Oregon, California.
Yes, but this was huge. Do you remember this? Okay.
Yes.
All right. It was the bushfire, and it was like it scorched all the eucalyptus forests. Oh, that's sad.
Koalas. Koalas are mean. Did you know that?
I learned that
from my little sister, who learned it from her science book. But koalas are mean.
Does she have like beef with some koalas or something?
No. They were learning about koalas, and she was super excited to tell me how they were mean. She goes, they look all cute and cuddly, but they're actually mean. I was like...
They carry chlamydia.
Yeah.
I think it's like 72% carry chlamydia. Did you know that sloths have no natural enemies?
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. And did you know that they move so slow that they have bacteria grow on there?
Yes, I did know that.
Is it because I told you that?
No, I knew that before you told me.
Well, I think this is probably the 5th time I've said that to you.
Yes.
I did a report in like 2nd grade on I was going to do it on sloths, but then someone else in my class did sloths, and I was really unhappy, so I did hyenas. And do you know hyenas? They don't actually sound like they're laughing. They sound like a woman screaming.
Yes, I did know that.
Mm-hmm.
Because we watched a video on it, and it's terrifying.
It's scary.
Like,
They're
really
mean.
terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, that was quite the rant on animals.
I'm saying save the turtles. Like, I just like, I think it's something we should care about.
I think instead of like, you know, banning all plastic bags, why don't we figure out a way to better, like, dispose of them?
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, a lot of them, or, like, just have some decent respect, pick up your trash. Like, a lot of them end up in rivers, which then flows to the ocean, which is where all these issues are. But, like, banning them doesn't do anything.
Rivers flow to the ocean?
Yes, the Columbia River goes to the ocean. It goes through the Puget Sound, then the ocean, but I just blew Allison's mind. All the water systems are all connected in a way.
I thought they just stopped somewhere.
Some of them do. They
Like
stop
a
at
waterfall.
lakes.
It goes from a waterfall to a lake.
Yeah, but not all of them are that way.
But where do the waterfalls get started?
Up in the mountains.
Okay, so mountain to waterfall turns to river goes to lake.
Uh-huh.
We're really going on a tangent this episode.
I had to really think about what I was trying to type there.
Whoa, there's a map?
Yeah. So, like, this is the Columbia River. And here is the Spokane River.
The Columbia River goes through Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
See, that right here, that's where I live. In that area.
I live over here, and that's the Spokane River. And the Spokane River dumps into the Columbia River. Actually, I think it dumps into the Snake River, which then dumps into the Columbia River, which then dumps into the Pacific Ocean.
The Columbia River, I also have the Columbia River.
Yeah.
And the Columbia River is the river that runs through... No, that's a different river.
The Columbia River runs through, like, between Washington and Oregon, through Vancouver, or by Vancouver. And
that's what I have to get over to get into Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. You learn something new every day.
And then the Spokane River, the other end, goes into the Coeur d'Alene Lake, which then goes into the Coeur d'Alene River and a bunch of other things.
You never took government? I never took geography.
I never took geography. Oh, yes, I did. Just kidding. Because I did a book called Galloping the Globes. Globe, not globes.
Callista.
Yes.
I feel like it's the big companies, especially like Amazon and like all these like big influencers and big celebrities, and Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, Taylor Swift. They're all like, guys, you gotta limit your carbon emissions while they're here flying around on private planes or like making money off of us carbon emissions. And then they're like in here being like, you gotta limit your environmental impact. So like, don't let the capitalists be like, hey guys, you guys are ruining the planet, when it's them who are actually the ones ruining the planet.
I mean, factories produce the most like carbon, yet we're told to stop driving our cars.
That makes sense. There are little things that you can do in your everyday life just to make, to make yourself feel better. Like, every little bit does count. And even though they do say, like, I know what they're saying, don't drive your cars, don't listen to them. Like, you driving an electric car isn't going to be like what's the tipping point between the death of this world. But, like, if you want to use a regular tampon, use a regular tampon. I'm sorry, I feel very passionate about this.
It's such a random thing to be passionate about.
I was
but
so
also,
mad.
Yeah, but also, like, it literally affects our bodies.
Little things that you can do in your everyday life. This is for all my makeup wearers out there, which is humans with vaginas and humans without vaginas.
I'm glad you could get that word out first try.
Thank you.
It only took me about 20 tries, but it's fine.
Try using makeup remover instead of makeup wipes.
I just use a washcloth because I'm in water because I'm allergic to so many things.
You need to try micellar water. I think you would really like it.
I could try it.
Makeup wipes are like completely unnecessary. They barely take off your makeup, and obviously you use up a lot of them. I use the Garnier Skin Active Micellar Water, and I use the one with the blue cap because it's waterproof. But they have a whole bunch of different ones, and some of them, for like close to here, hyperallergenic. And so I use that instead of using makeup wipes. It gets all my makeup off. I usually just use a rag or my hands to get it all off. And I wash my face instead of using makeup wipes because I can, like a big thing of it, it takes me about 6 months to go through, and I wear a lot of makeup. Whereas makeup wipes, I can go through in like a month and a half.
Yeah.
So saves you money. They're like $6 at Ulta, and takes you longer to go through. Yeah. Moving on. Public transportation, which I know is a thing that is screamed at us from the rooftops. I'm not saying you need to like kill yourself biking 30 miles to work every day. I am saying, bike to the store every once in a while.
As somebody who did bike 7 miles to work every day. It's not fun, but it gets you there.
And even with the body positivity movement, maybe you'll lose a couple extra pounds. There you go. Here's a great one. Don't get an abortion. Abortions, actually have an environmental impact. Also, there's no such thing as overpopulation.
No, because people die every day and people are born every day, and they basically replace each other. Well, you don't...
This planet was made for us to live on. I don't think God has ever been like,
whoops,
that's a little too many people.
Whoops, I accidentally planned too many people.
He never once turned to Jesus and was like, yikes, I think I put too many people onto there today. But, abortions. So, chemical abortions actually do have an impact on our water system. So, there is a project that's called This Is Chemical Abortion, which we will be citing a lot especially next episode, because they have a whole deep dive on chemical abortion and what it does to your body, actually how it works, all the dangers of it and stuff, and people's stories about it. Go ahead and check it out, especially before next episode, because we're going to be taking a lot of our stuff from there. But in a blog post from specifically Students for Life, which is their parent company. Okay, so this is gross, but a gross warning. When you have a chemical abortion, you essentially birth your dead child, and then you just flush it down the toilet, depending on where you are. And because of that, it affects animals, the aquatic life are in the water, and it pollutes our water system. And so they're actually doing a petition to ban chemical abortions, which is contributing to the FDA thing, to ban chemical abortions, because the solution could help protect animals, aquatic life, the environment, our food supply, and people from water, which is polluted by chemical abortion drugs, as well as tainted with blood, tissue, and the human remains of such abortions. I'm sorry, I know that's really gross.
Thank you for that warning that you gave before.
But it's don't get an abortion, and especially a chemical abortion, and just if you're thinking environmental impact, I don't want to contribute to overpopulation. Well, you're contributing to polluting our water system, so there you go. This is Chemical Abortion, has a petition that you can sign that will help protect the environment from abortion pills, as well as women and babies that are affected by them. We'll have a link to that in the description of the episode. Please go and sign and help make an impact. Although the Supreme Court is deciding some things today, but you know what? Every little bit counts. Okay. I saw this one. Instead of throwing away old clothes, there's like a couple things you can do with them. I saw something today about using old t-shirts and using them as rags.
That's what my family did.
Really?
All the time, yep.
I didn't know that. That's interesting. Did you just like cut them up?
Mm-hmm. We never, like, unless our window cleaning cloths were the only ones that we bought actual, like, rags for, because they need to be the softer ones so you're not scratching your windows. Mm-hmm. But otherwise, we used old t-shirts.
Mm-hmm. Also, using old shirts / jeans and making them into quilts or blankets. I know a lot of people use their old baby clothes to make them into blankets. I did dance in high school. We got 3 t-shirts in the fall and 3 t-shirts in the winter. So if you're thinking about that, that's 6 t-shirts a year. Times 4? That's 24 t-shirts.
I really liked the process of that math problem in your
Was
head.
that right?
Yes, you were right, but watching you do it was really great.
Plus any extra shirts that we get along the way. That's a lot of t-shirts I'm never going to wear again. So my project this last summer was turning them into a blanket, which is pretty cool. Where you just kind of you sew all the t-shirts together and then you sew another t-shirt piece of fabric to the back of it. There's also ways that you can send them out. You cut them and send them out to companies and they will send them back to you as a blanket. And obviously, instead of throwing them away, donate them. Mm-hmm. Salvation Army, Union Gospel Mission. You could consider Goodwill, but Goodwill does sell them, whereas Salvation Army is going to donate them. So wherever is in your local area, mm-hmm. consider that. Finally, compost bins instead of food waste, especially if you're a gardener. Yeah, did your family have a compost bin?
Yes.
My family did not have a compost bin.
Yep, we had a compost bin, a giant compost bin, and then we would use it for our garden. All the time. There's a thing that went viral on TikTok, and you would put, it was $600. It sits on your counter, and you put all your food waste into it, and then you run it, and then it turns all your food waste into actual dirt. Yeah, that's essentially what we did. We didn't have a $600 machine. We just left it over the summer and turned it into dirt. Yeah. And then you would scoop it out and be like, that's where that peeler we lost a couple years ago went. Wait, really? Ew. So that peeler is just done for good. It was just dirt. Ew. No, I don't think we kept it because it was also rusty. But yeah, I think there was a couple of knives where that's where we dropped that knife into the compost bin. Calista, do you have any concluding thoughts on this matter? Just respect the environment. Not because of global warming, because maybe there is a little bit of global warming, but when it was negative 5 back home for Christmas for a week straight, actually a couple days it got to negative 11. I don't think there was global warming was the issue. What about global cooling? If global warming is an issue, then why did I not get to see the Nutcracker? Because I came out that morning and my entire car and street was covered in ice. Huh? Explain that, AOC. Explain why I didn't get to see the Nutcracker. Would you like AOC to buy you some Nutcracker tickets? Well, I can't see it anymore because it's not Christmas. Well, I mean, when Christmas comes, you're fly me to the nearest Nutcracker show. Huh. That's my concluding thoughts on it, that I didn't get to see the Nutcracker, so global warming doesn't exist. Yeah, just respect the planet. Mm-hmm. All right. Pop culture news of this week. I'm actually excited about this one. Calista. I could care less. Were you gonna ask me what my thoughts were?
No. Callista.
Yes,
Coachella was this last weekend.
I was told so. Yes.
Which means it was the Influencer Olympics, whereas all these influencers, as you say, buy Airbnbs in the middle of the desert and put on outfits and pretend they went to Coachella.
Yeah, like any influencer does. They don't do a lot of the things they claim they do.
But for the ones who actually went to Coachella, they did really good. Madeline C. White, who is a former model, she's really popular on TikTok, had some of the cutest outfits of all time. I forced Calista to look at them. She had the butterfly outfit. It was really pretty.
Thank you for clarifying that, because I literally could not think who you were talking about.
Adorable. She looks so cute. I love seeing the outfits because some of them are so bad, but some of them are really, really good. But unlike last year, there wasn't like a whole bunch of drama. Do you remember when last year about Coachella?
No.
Okay, so last year there was this whole issue because there was this event that is the same weekend as Coachella, having to do with a clothing brand I can't remember the name of. And there was like a whole bunch of issues with that. And so they put it the same weekend as Coachella for people to go through during the day because all the headliners are at night. And there was like a whole bunch of issue with like transportation and people getting abandoned out in the middle of the desert.
Yes, I do remember this.
And the influencers who like came out about it, who were like, we had to wait for like 15 minutes in the desert around people who had like 50 followers on Instagram.
I mean, a few of them were like 2 hours and
Yeah.
with no water.
Mm-hmm. There was some drama though, primarily concerning Frank Ocean, who is like a hip hop, and I don't know any of his music. Honestly, I've heard his name before, but I also thought he was white, and he is not. He is apparently black.
I couldn't tell you because I've never heard of him.
I thought he looked like Eminem. Like in my head, he looked like Eminem. He does not look like Eminem. He looks like He looks like Lil Nas X. Okay, Frank Ocean was one of the primary headliners of Coachella last weekend. And apparently, he did a horrendous job. First of all, he showed up an hour late, and then gave like the most disappointing performance of all time. He kind of like wandered around the stage. He only performed for 20 minutes. He wandered around the stage for 20 minutes, giving like the most depressing performance of all time. So there's a lot of rumors circulating about this performance because he was originally supposed to perform in 2021, and obviously that didn't happen. And then he didn't perform in 2022, and so then he was scheduled to perform in 2023. Here's the thing. A lot of people thought that a lot of people thought the only reason he was performing is because his brother died, and he actually didn't want to do it. And he was just doing it as to pay homage to his brother. And so a lot of people were like, it was kind of depressing, like him being up there without his brother. Actually, on Tuesday, he did say that he injured his ankle that week, and so they had to make accommodations. But he'll be back this next weekend, so hopefully he'll be feeling a little better. On some more fun news, Blackpink made history by being the first ever K-pop group to headline Coachella. I know that means nothing to you, but so the headliners are the ones that like the entire thing is marketed around, and they are like the big shows at night that everyone wait hours in line for. So like who else has headlined Coachella's like Billie Eilish, I don't know why my head just went blank. Hold on a second.
That happened to me earlier.
Okay, Bad Bunny is headlining this year, which I believe Bad Bunny is dating one of the Kardashians. Okay, Bad Bunny, Blackpink, and Frank Ocean are all the headliners for this year, and Blackpink has made history as the first ever K-pop group to headline, which they did it before BTS did it. And BTS is like the biggest K-pop group of all time.
I do know that.
I love Blackpink like so much, and I'm so jealous that I didn't get to see them because James Charles kept posting clips all over performing on this Instagram story, and Callista's fanning herself right now. That's exactly how I felt about Blackpink. No, it's because it's like 95 degrees in here.
Yeah.
It's really hot in here. Okay. Still, what I consider the best Coachella performance of all time is Beyonce headlining the 2018 Coachella. Frank Ocean performed for 20 minutes. She performed for 2 hours in that desert heat. Sounds disgusting. Just like
That's an hour and 40 minutes
and she
longer.
is a dancer. So she, she was out there. I believe she was wearing these like knee-high, like fur boots and shorts and a sweatshirt.
Why did she choose that as her outfit? Because that's hot. She was in the middle of the desert.
It was hot.
Not that kind of hot. She was in the middle of the desert. She's dancing and singing, and when you're on stage, it's already hot.
Well, I'm sure she knew that.
But why did she decide to wear a sweatshirt and fur boots?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. She's not Queen Bee.
I don't know why I was so passionate
You're
about
really
that.
passionate about this. You're gonna get like the beehive coming after you.
I don't know. I would be worried she would just like pass out on the stage from heat stroke or something.
She's Beyonce. She's fine.
Okay.
Okay. 2 hours, desert heat. I mean, it was nighttime, but still. She had Jay-Z come up on stage with her at one point, which Jay-Z is her husband.
Mm-hmm.
She had her sister come up on stage at some point, who I can't remember the name of. And she had members of Destiny's Child come up on stage. So if you didn't know, before Beyonce was like a huge thing, she was in Destiny's Child. And then they kind of split their separate ways because she went solo. So, Coachella weekend 1, we missed out.
Uh-huh.
Which incredibly disappointing, but no worries, Calista.
Okay.
I've budgeted it all out so that we can be ready for Coachella weekend 2.
Okay.
Okay,
I don't know if I'm ready for this.
let's talk about this.
Okay.
Flights, $896.
Okay.
We get a hotel, $2,999.
Okay.
Not that bad. Transportation, $240.
Okay.
Passes. So pass for each of us. VIP, because we can't be with the peasants. We're essentially influencers by this point. VIP, $1,069 for each of us. So that's $2,138. We also need an airport shuttle, $85. Outfit.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do the outfit each day. We did a little lower budget. It's not in our budget to do the custom made outfits. $224.94 for the entire weekend.
Okay.
I mean, $223.47. I got a little off deal. And I added an extra $400 in case we wanted some merch, maybe some extra food.
Okay.
That's probably like 3 bottles of water there.
Okay. Yeah.
Altogether, it will cost us $7,206.41, which is about as much. It's a little bit less than what I pay for in college tuition every semester.
That is what I pay for in college tuition every semester. But no, that is what I pay a semester.
So I guess you're not going to college next semester.
Yeah. Don't tell my parents I'm not graduating.
Once again, if anyone wants to crowdfund us going to Coachella, that would be great. To add to the list of things that you're crowdfunding us for, our trip to watch Harry Styles, no. I said it again! No! Prince Harry in his defamation trial against... No, it's not defamation. What is it? It's, phone hacking trial against the Daily Mail. Number 2, still Young Women's Leadership Summit.
That's number 1 on my list.
You don't want to go to England?
Yeah, going to England would be fun, but also Riley Gaines.
We can see Riley Gaines. We can go to San Francisco and see Riley Gaines.
is no longer at San Francisco.
Okay.
San Francisco is canceling all of their events that have conservative speakers. So,
Number 3, about $7,300 for us to go to Coachella.
by this weekend.
Okay, we're moving on. Thank you for listening to this very chaotic episode of I Don't Want to Talk About Politics. We did like a late night recording. We started about 1 o'clock in the morning. So
And Callista gets loopy after about 1 a.m.
make sure to check us out on Instagram at IDWTAP_podcast. That's IDWTAP_podcast. Make sure you check out our personal Instagrams, which is Ali.joy173
And Callista J1776, that's CALISTAJAY1776.
If you want to check out our references, there's a document linked in the description below, as well as a link where you can leave us a voice message, and we might play it on the next episode. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts, or if you just want to yell at us. But if you yell at us, I probably will definitely include it on the next episode. That would make me laugh. Krista, what are we talking about next week?
Next week we are concluding April by doing a deep dive into chemical abortions.
I can't believe it's already been almost a month.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Isn't that weird?
This is very weird.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be talking about what chemical abortions are, their dangers.
I know I wrote that weird. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. And really just diving into all the legislation surrounding them. So make sure you tune in and bring your phone as well. Question mark. What?
You want to know what the funniest part is? I have no idea what I meant to say right there. I think because I was talking about my phone dying. So make sure you tune in and bring your phone as well. Okay.
I don't know what you're supposed to bring, but I don't think...
Maybe it was bring your friends. That's what it was. Make sure you tune in and tell your friends as well, because this is going to be interesting. We're going to go deep dive into everything chemical abortion, but it will be a pretty intense episode.
Mm-hmm.
So just like a little bit of a graphic content warning, because we're not sugarcoating, even if it gets close to the heebie-jeebies.
I don't know why that did, because I've like talked about abortions before, but I think just it caught me off guard. Even though you gave a warning, I still was not expecting that to be, because you went animals, dead human tissue. It was like, okay.
Well, thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
Bye.